Welcome back. I do still have a few more rapid games to go through on Lichess as far as analyzing them, trying to catch up on my backlog. However, I realized it had been a while since I've played a rapid game on chess.com. And this, of course, is the rating that I care about the most. It's the one that was on my intro screen. I've been working my way back up. I just broke 1200 after being down in the 1100s for a little bit. So I'm going to try to keep going up. However, I know that the odds of that are probably low because I've won several in a row, including a draw. But it's been a while since I lost one. I'm just preparing myself and you just in case that happens here. When I start one of these videos, as you may have guessed, I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm hoping something interesting happens. And obviously I hope that I win, but I really don't know. So it's kind of like I'm just walking out into the dark here without a flashlight, and I've clicked record. So we're going to find out what happens. I have selected 10 minutes with no increment. That's what I'm most comfortable with. And I got the black pieces. Okay. I'm playing with someone who has styled themselves a GM. Okay. I'm going to play the Caro-Kann defense. I am recording, right? Okay. Here, I think I can just take that. I think that might have been an inaccuracy on my opponent's part. Maybe not. But I think if they take, I get their queen, and they lose the right to castle. Okay. Here, can I just take another one? Is that good? Or do I just leave that pawn there? I think I take another one. They can take it with their bishop, but that's okay. I'll get this knight out. I'll get this bishop out here in a second to... nope, I should probably move this pawn first. And then get the dark squared bishop out here. I think I'm worried about that knight yet, but I don't want to put the dark squared bishop where I was about to put it. Wait, is this one of those traps? Wait, I know there's some traps in the Caro-Kann defense. But I think, yeah, I don't want to put this here because then they just take it. You know what? I'm just going to take that knight. They can take back. And then I'll take their queen. I'll get my bishop out. Not there, though. Here. And then castle. Okay, that knight's not coming anywhere. I am going to go ahead and castle. And then I've got two pieces left to develop. This one can go here because it is protected by the bishop. And then there. Not sure why they threw that pawn forward in front of their king. I guess it was to keep my bishop from coming over there. Coming this way, they are about to... fianchetto that bishop instead of just developing it. Okay, that I wasn't really attacking it. I was just trying to develop pieces, and it was protected. They like their bishops, so they moved that back. Guess I can develop this one here and finally connect my rooks. That leaves that front pawn undefended. I'm not sure about that. I don't know what to do about it. That pawn's going to go before long. I can put this bishop here, but then the bishop won't be protected. So maybe I should put this rook here first, and then put the bishop there. They have opened up an attack on this. We're just going to trade down into an endgame where I'm one pawn ahead, but I'm not. I might not be a pawn ahead here in a minute. I realize that. But we're going to take that, and then when they take back, I'm going to take their rook, and then I'm going to defend that pawn. I think that's how this is going to work. No, because I'm going to have to defend the pawn this way, so I don't lose the bishop, and then we'll go from there. We both have a rook and two bishops. I have an extra pawn. So I'm going to try to hang on to it. Okay, they're already bringing their king. Should I try to trade off the rooks too? I don't know about that. I'm kind of iffy with my bishops. And I can't do this now because they have two pieces pointed at that square. I would end up losing a pawn there. See, if I go here, will they trade? If they do, I don't know. I think if we keep trading down, I'm going to be okay. But, oh, you know what? That pawn's in trouble if I move my king, I just realized. What if we just start edging pawns forward this way? Not sure where that's going. Where is that going? Are they trying to rotate around? Oh, wow. Yeah, if I push that, then this pawn's hanging again. Then maybe I do want to trade off the rook. And now I have to bring my king. They're trying to sneak around that way. What are they trying to do? Probably coming here, aiming for that pawn. I don't think I'm worried about it. I can just move it. I'm going to bring my king, and then I'm going to push this. Okay, they won't take that pawn while their bishop's in danger. I don't think. Oh, wait, am I going to win the bishop? It can only go back two places. Oh, but now it can go forward, and I'll double their pawns right here. Oh, wait, wow, I am bad with geometry. It had no problem getting back around over there. Okay, but I've gained myself a little space. which I think will come in handy. I'm going to block them from hitting that pawn. Okay. Guess I can just go there, because I don't want to wait for them to come to me, because, yeah, let's just... Okay, now their bishop can only get through over here, and they've blocked their light-squared bishop from getting through on this side, so they're going to have to move some of these pawns and work this around this way. Okay. Oh, they're trying to come in this way? All right. Not sure how that's going to work out. I am 3 minutes down on time. Okay, come on in, I guess. Oh, no, they were trying to go around the back. Okay, nice. Very nice. There we go. I saw that just in time. And now, of course, this bishop's kind of stuck here. I don't know. I guess, no, I can't. I can't bring my king that way. I'm going to have to start bringing pawns this way, I guess. This way? H5? Okay. And maybe reroute my light-squared bishop or something. Or trade off for theirs. Let's see, if I go here... Oh, no, then they'll come after my rear pawn. Okay, so my bishop's basically trapped there. I need to move this so I can get closer to theirs. Closer to that bishop. Their bishop needs to go. It might go back down here, though, to B8. Or it might retreat to one of these squares. I'm not sure. Okay, it went that way. That's fine, I think. I can check them and get behind their pawns, maybe. Okay, no, I can't get behind their pawns because they went that way. I thought they might go the other way, but I've got to come back down here and defend my B pawn. You know what? Let's see if they want to repeat. I don't know what else to do here, to be honest, and I'm down 4 minutes on time. All right, I'll take it. I got 1 point for that. I don't know if I had an advantage or not. It looks like from the bar on the left that I do have a very slight advantage. Oh, and you see that, though. Stockfish, I don't know if you can see it on your screen or not, but Stockfish says going back and repeating is actually my best move. And king to e1 would be their best move after that. All right. Well, I took the draw just because I saw that I had a severe time disadvantage, and if we got into a pretty complex or a traded down endgame, my opponent was going to have 3 extra minutes to consider. If we ever got to a position where there was a choice between which pawn to move or whether or not to move the king instead of the pawn, then I would be making those decisions with just a few seconds available for every move, and they would be able to spend 10 or 20 seconds if they thought one was particularly important. That's why I decided here to do this. Otherwise, my opponent might see that if we got down to that end game, and then they wouldn't take a repetition. They would force me to play faster or something, and I would mess up. So that was just a strategy there to take the draw. Let's click the game review. Okay, the eval bar does barely fit on the left there. All right. Okay, we both played pretty well, and I did have an advantage most of the time, but not a very big one. It looks like there was only one spot there. Wait, that thing that popped up when the game ended, there's a little pop-up box over the game board over here. Yeah, that thing. That thing said I had 2 mistakes, but when we actually went to the review here, it said I had no mistakes. I had 1 miss. Few inaccuracies. My opponent and I each had a few inaccuracies, but they had 3 mistakes. I didn't have any, just 1 miss. And it looks like it was right there in the middle where they gave me something and I didn't see it. I'm curious as to what rating the computer estimated. Okay, the computer estimated we both played like 1500s, so good job to GM Tina Moran from the Philippines. Okay, get a lot of opponents from the Philippines. That's... I mean, not a lot, not as many as I get from the United States, but from the other, as far as other countries, and I know they're, every country, as far as I know, is represented on chess.com, but seem to have a higher proportion of people from the Philippines. That must have something to do with time zones. They've got to be something like 15 hours ahead of us. 16? I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I think Japan's 14 hours ahead of us, so the Philippines are probably close to that. But anyway, it's pretty early in the morning over there. Like 3 in the morning. So I don't know if this is someone who stayed up really late or someone who got up really early, or maybe someone who works overnight shifts. Perhaps it's someone taking a break in the middle of their night shift at the supermarket or hospital. Maybe they woke up from a bad dream. Either way, good job, Tina Moran, for this game, and we both played like 1500s. Well, since I didn't have any mistakes or blunders, I'm just going to go to that miss. Okay, see, I thought that was a problem. Normally what happens here, and I'm going to see what they should have played, and normally what happens here is they take, and I take their queen, and they take mine. And I usually think I'm ahead at that point, but Stockfish seems to think that they would still have a very slight advantage, or we would be close to even. But I guess they didn't want to lose their right to castle. Did not want to trade queens that early. Okay, so that was counted as a mistake. Was it my best move to take? It was. Okay. So from there, I had a very slight advantage, minus 0.57 or so. It was their best move to take. That's what I assumed they would do. This was one of my best moves. Okay. So I came out of the opening okay. Oh, really? Should have brought the other knight over or put this one here. Or g6. Yeah, in the Caro-Kann, Stockfish very often recommends the fianchetto here. It feels slow to me, and already the Caro-Kann is a slow opening when it comes to normal piece development, occupying and controlling the center. Now, in this case, it got broken. I was in unfamiliar territory as soon as they dropped that knight back. But anyway, in most Caro-Kann situations, you're already a little slow to develop. As you can see, my opponent has already castled, already has 2 pieces out, and is ready to get this rook in the game. Their queen is open. Doesn't have a lot of places to go yet, but it's available. I have 1 piece out. I have a little bit of a claim to a couple of center squares here, but I have yet to get this bishop out. I guess it doesn't matter because I guess I can see why that would be okay, because I'm going to have to move a pawn either way in order to get the bishop out of the way of my king. But that's why I normally don't do the fianchetto, even though Stockfish recommends it, is because, again, it feels a little slow. But in this case, I hadn't yet moved this pawn, so I guess it's all right. But I still had a very, very slight advantage until then. Their second mistake. Okay, and I was supposed to take it. What were my other options? Bishop to e6? I guess just to develop a bishop, nothing in particular. Or h6. I guess h6 would have been preventing them from putting this in here. But yeah, the reason that I took is because otherwise they were going to take me. That's what I thought. Okay. And then they took me. Taking their queen is best. Again, bishop to g4. Okay, because see, right after this, not long, a couple of turns later, they played their h-pawn up to keep me from going there. But I should have gone there now first. But then wouldn't they have just put this pawn forward? Sorry, while I was talking, bishop to g4 dropped down to 3rd place. It says they wouldn't push that pawn. It says they would drop that bishop back. But then I would take it, and that would open up their king. Wouldn't that be good for me? Okay. I'm just curious, if I had played this, how about that's not even listed among their top 3? I guess because it opens up their king this way. But yeah, their best move would be to block with the bishop, and then I would take it, and I definitely would, because that would open up their pawns there. Okay, how bad would it be if they did this? Not that bad. I don't even think that would be an inaccuracy, but I would check here first. They would probably want to move closer to the center, and then I would drop this back. Well, I didn't think about bishop to g4. I probably need to remember it. But bishop to e6, bishop to e7 were among my moves. I wanted to castle, so I did that. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get to my miss. It was an inaccuracy to castle. They did play that. f5. Oh, I could have just played that now because that bishop in the middle was annoying. Oh, that was excellent. Okay. f5 again because my rook's behind it. Trading the rooks isn't bad. Do that and then f6 or f5, either one. It's about equal. Okay. Still looking for that miss. How far down was it? That was a mistake. Okay, it must be here then. Okay. f5. I do remember eventually talking about it, and we eventually did push the pawn to f5 and then e4, and I thought I had trapped the bishop for just a second, but it easily got away. But I should have done it now, because now it can't go that way. Now it actually is trapped. Okay, I completely understand this. Unlike many of the blunders or misses or mistakes or inaccuracies in a lot of the games that I analyze, this was my only mess up here in this game. Those inaccuracies weren't that big a deal. As far as mistakes, blunders, and misses, this is the only one. I didn't play f5 here, but I completely see why I should have. The bishop can't go there or there. I mean, it can, but it's not going to. Can't go there. That's it, right? So I play this. Oh, it says they're going to take this pawn. That's their best move afterward. I assume that they wouldn't, but I don't know. They might drop back, and then I'm going to put this pawn right here, and they're going to have to take. And I'm going to take. They're going to have to move their rook at that point. So I'm going to get a bishop for a pawn. Or if they take here, I'm going to get a bishop for a pawn, and then they're going to be able to get this one. And then I'll pull my king up here, and I'll just be ahead -2. But after that, real quick, let's go toward the end game here, which we traded down into, and then we're just in a bishop end game. A6 or A5. Oh, I protected this pawn by moving the B pawn, but I should have protected it by moving the A pawn and had all my pawns on light squares. Then my light squared bishop would be mostly useless, but my dark squared bishop would still have routes through. But I don't have a very slight lead, and I gave away... No, I didn't. The evaluation stays the same. So that was not an inaccuracy. Yeah, right here, now it says B6 is my best move. It said A6 or A5, but now it says B6 is my best move. But they're all about 0.8, minus 0.8 something. Because when I did that and I saw that it was still minus 0.8, that's not inaccurate, that's best. Now wait, what's it going to say this time? It still says B6 is best, but also bishop to B6. Wouldn't they have taken hoping to double my pawns? I don't think it would have made any difference because they still can't get any of these past. The doubled pawns would not, I don't think would be a weakness here because, I mean, that front pawn would guard those two squares and the back pawn would guard those two. So... But bishop to b6 or b6. Now a5's not even listed in the top 3. Okay, so that's one reason. I always check these inaccuracies because sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're best. In this case, I think it was best. This was not among my opponent's best moves. I should have played bishop to c7 now, or g5, or c5, which I did. We're still at 0.8. That was their best move, trying to sneak down in here after this pawn. Bishop to d7. Bishop to c8. Interesting. It wants me to put my light squared bishop on one of these two squares. But wait, I knew they were coming for that pawn down here. I mean, that's fairly obvious that that's what they're coming for. As soon as, I think I recognized that as soon as they moved it, that they were going to come for this pawn. Stockfish doesn't think they're going to. You can, all 3 lines, in none of the cases is that what they're going to do next. They're either going to play g4 or f3 next. According to the engine. That's what the engine would play after putting this bishop here. So I should do this or a6 now. That was counted as inaccurate because they can play f3 or g4 or h4, but they didn't. They did what I thought they were going to do, which is the whole reason they moved the bishop here in the first place. And now we're back to 0.8. Their best move? a5 is not listed here. Okay. Now they're supposed to move their f pawn, but they didn't. See, I wasn't sure what that was about, other than maybe trapping my bishop here. That's the only thing I could think of why they did this, was because now I can't really move this bishop. I mean, I can offer to trade, but then they go here, and I can't bring it back to guard that pawn. So it kind of has to stay here to guard this pawn, I thought. I should play g5. Whoops, I played h5. Almost lost everything. Oh, I thought that was good. What should they have done? Oh, they should have played h4. Or put this bishop back here to work around, which would continue to keep my bishop trapped there, basically. Or f3 again. Okay. We're still very, very close. That was my best move. Trying to remember now why. Oh, yeah, because I was going to bring my king after their bishop. Okay. They brought their king some more. Okay. That was listed. Back it up. Whoop, it's not now. Yes, it is. It's one of my top 3 moves. King to d7 would have been better. Oh, to continue coming after the bishop. Okay. But I saw a check, knowing that I would have to come back to guard this pawn. Because I'm pretty sure if I didn't come back, if I did something else after, they were going to go here, and I couldn't come back to defend the pawn. Now, their best move was king to c2, interestingly enough, but when they went there, oh, my best move is here. Oh, to keep them from coming up. Oh, but it's my second best move to come back. I didn't even think of that. My king could prevent their bishop from going after that pawn. And if they went after my pawn that way, then I could still protect the pawn and be coming after their bishop. And then they'd be stuck. Okay, they would have to come out this way if I came forward. Because once they went there, they might be done. Their best move was a pawn move here, but they brought the king again, and it is my second best move to check again. Either here or check. And now it said king to e1 is their best move. Those two are equal for me. Well, I didn't think about the king being able to get to that pawn in time, so I came back, and king to d2 is my opponent's best move. And again, either one of those is my best move, because Stockfish is only evaluating the current position and not the sequence that has led up to this, which means that we would draw because of the repetition. I think I would prefer that Stockfish got a little tweak when it comes to things like this. I don't know how it's developed. I don't know how computer code or these chess engines are created. I have no idea. But as far as I can tell, they do just evaluate the exact position on the board given whose turn it is. They know whose turn it is. They know the rules of chess. and they're given a position and they evaluate it. So when you make a move, they don't care about what the position already was, because that's over. It's gone. They only care about what the new position is after the piece is moved. They don't care that the king came from here. It just cares that the king is here and all the other pieces are where they're shown. And it says, and it knows it's black's turn. So what should black do? And it evaluates all the possibilities. But I think that they ought to be able, for game reviews, not for like puzzle solutions, but for game reviews, they ought to be able to tell, look at the move list and say, no, we can't recommend bishop to g5 here. In this case, the game is already over because it's already been a repetition, but it's still recommending this. If it hadn't already been over, it should have been able to tell, we just did that, and doing it again would result in a draw automatically. That's just a suggestion. I know none of the Stockfish developers are watching this video, but who knows? There's a 1 in a million chance one of you dropped by. That's something I would like to see in a future version of Stockfish, is it being able to tell you that you've already repeated. And is it really my best move to repeat? I thought it was because of my time difference, but Stockfish might have saw, oh wait, that would be a draw, so do this instead. And don't even put bishop to g5 listed there. If you made it this far, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.